Elise Stefanik is making this her whole thing now, where she is going after administrators in schools for alleged anti-Semitism. Now, we know that anti-Semitism, the earnest claims of instances of anti-Semitism is on the rise. It makes total sense. There's also massive Islamophobia and anti-Palestinian hate on the rise. Tensions are high. That's totally understandable. But when Republicans are talking about anti-Semitism, they're invoking a moral panic that doesn't exist, that is basically meant to tamp down on the free speech of college students protesting a genocide. And she's been doing this with much success. She was able to get the president of Harvard, the first black president of Harvard, fired from her job in this witch hunt, as well as a resignation from, I believe, the Penn University president as well. So she's keeping this up, and this is now her latest hearing is the House Committee on Anti-Semitism. Republicans are leading because they care about bigotry, questioning the chancellor of New York City Public Schools, David Banks, about reports that she says definitely happened. The chancellor has a bit of a different read.
And what's very concerning about these hearings is that we're getting lip service, but a lack of enforcement, a lack of accountability. And these rules and policies matter, whether it's teachers, administrators, or students violating the rules. I want to switch to Origins High School. In October, 40 to 50 students marched through Origins High School chanting "Death to Israel" and "Kill the Jews." In addition, an independent investigation found that a teacher who teaches global history was told by a student, quote, "I wish you were killed." Another student called her, quote, "a dirty Jew," and the student said he wished Hitler could have hit more Jews, including her. What disciplinary actions have been taken against those students who chanted "Death to Israel" at Origins High School, and against the student who harassed with anti-Semitic slurs that teacher?
Two things. First of all, when we've done our investigation, we have found no evidence that there was any movement through the hall saying "death to the Jews." We looked at, and I treat that very, very seriously. That was reported in the papers. We have found no evidence that that actually happened. What we have found are a wide range, deeply troubling anti-Semitic things that have happened at Origins High School. This is the one case that has troubled me the most, Congresswoman. I will tell you that.
So what are the enforcement actions?
I'm trying to tell you. We have in fact suspended a number of students at that school. But currently, this case now is under litigation, and I'm being advised not to speak to the specific things that have happened there. But just know that I have visited that school after these allegations have come up. I've met with parents, families, staff, students. I'm deeply troubled by what has happened there, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. I can't say more because it is now under litigation.
You understand.
All right, well, he did better than and learned from some of those college administrators.
I'm more troubled by what happened in the media than apparently what happened at that school, because I don't see any details about what actually happened, but a lie was told about what was said in that school, and that's a huge problem.
We know that there are a lot of, I'm sorry, guys, if you're media literacy, reading articles that talk about anti-Semitic incidents at universities and colleges, look to see if there are specificities made. Look to see if there are actual claims made, because we know that Zionist counter-protesters at UCLA, according to witness accounts, punched young women in the face. We also know that stink and other kinds of spray that hurts people's ability to kind of breathe and things like that have been used on counter-protesters, let alone the police violence. We know countless incidents of violence against these peaceful pro-Palestine demonstrators.
Columbia students just got drove into.
Right. Another instance by that guy who has a connection to a right-wing Israeli terrorist and or far-right terror supporter. So, look if there's any specificity, because Stefanik is regurgitating propaganda that was put in the paper without evidence.
And that guy, if you remember at Northeastern, who had like who had a flag or a banner that said like kill the Jews or something. I think someone either followed up with him or that someone was able to like get more footage of him. Yeah, he was like draped in an Israeli flag and would kind of sort of acknowledge that he was trying to fan the flames and get other protesters.
But Northeastern initially blamed the pro-Palestine demonstrators, which is exactly the intent. They walked it back. But Elise Stefanik really cares about anti-Semitism. She really cares about it. She cares about it so much that she traffics in it.
Zionists need that to be true. It needs to be true that there is a show around the corner that is represented by these college students. Or, again, people look at the existence of Israel and, like, wherever the fuck it decides its borders are and the occupations as, like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because once you take that element out of it, once you actually say like, no, the murderous hate that needs checking right now is not anti-Semitism. It's anti-Palestinian violence that is being persecuted in the name of fighting anti-Semitism. Like that's just the strict reality we're dealing with right now.
This is what I'm alluding to here. Elise Stefanik, defender of Jewish people from anti-Semitism, echoed the Great Replacement theory that the Buffalo shooting suspect engaged in. Let's just scroll down a little bit here. She hasn't pushed the theory by name, says the Washington Post, but she and other conservatives have echoed the tenets of the far-right ideology as a part of anti-immigrant rhetoric that has fired up the Republican base ahead of the midterm elections. In response to the shooting, no, this was the part here where Kinzinger called her out, and she had a series of Facebook ads published in September 2021 by Stefanik's campaign committee that charged the Democrats were allowing undocumented immigrants into the United States as a ploy to outnumber and eventually silence Republican voters. That is the Great Replacement theory, and it's an anti-Semitic theory that has the implication when white nationalists hear it that it's the Jews that are coordinating the replacement of white people.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.